Hello there, I'm Dr. Atkin, chiropractor and master herbalist at Family Focus Chiropractic, and today we're going to talk about kids' health, specifically mental and emotional health of kids. Now, I'm a father of 4. My boys are 11 and 3, my girls are 6 and 9. Love being with my kids, love playing with them, wrestle around. Very active group, love spending time with them. Now, I see a lot of families and kids in my office. In fact, that's what we specialize in here at Family Focus Chiropractic. So I've seen kids, with all kinds of things come into the office. And what I found recently is that kids really struggle with mental and emotional health. In fact, it's sometimes easiest just to kind of put it into different categories. Some of the kids that come in their brains and nervous systems are overstimulated. Those are the ones that might suffer from attention deficit disorders, where they're just overstimulated. Maybe they're hyperactive. They've got so many things going on at once that they just can't concentrate on one thing at a time. These are the kids that are bouncing off the walls and going a million miles an hour all the time. Other kids are understimulated. There might be a little bit of maybe something that might resemble depression, or they're just slow in the way that they think or the way that they talk, or they haven't been able to reach their milestones, or they've had developmental disorders. Certainly some kids that are along the autism spectrum where they're brilliant, but socially they're just not quite there. In fact, a lot of parents kind of describe their children as being a little disconnected, as if the wiring isn't right, or everything's not put together. And quite frankly, the parents have it nailed on the head. Now, this blog post isn't going to be about chiropractic and kids, but I would be remiss if I didn't say that sometimes these kids' nervous system literally isn't right. It's not the parents' fault, it's not the kids' fault, it's simply that the nervous system isn't right. And that's where, as a chiropractor, that's what I dedicate my life to. So if you feel like your kid's a little disconnected and might have something going on within the nervous system, then this is exactly where you need to be, and I'd love to be able to check them out. Now, I'm not going to say that it goes without saying, but in a way, maybe it does kind of go without saying that one of the most important things for these kids is that they grow up in a healthy, nurturing, loving environment. The environment that we grow up in is so critical, and I know that some of us may have had a great environment to grow up with, and some of us struggled. I know that as parents, we're trying to do the very best that we know for our kids, and so at this point in this video, I'm just going to have to assume that these children are growing up in a loving and nurturing environment, because that's absolutely critical. I'm also going to assume that their nervous systems are healthy. If not, I already told you, come on in, let's get your kid's nervous system checked. But once they have those two things, and the kids are still bouncing off the walls, and there's still all kinds of developmental disorders and some of these other things that we discussed, what's really tragic, in my opinion, is that often, and in America at large, is turning toward medication for their children. And I'm not going to say that medication isn't ever necessary, because sometimes it absolutely is, but on whole, it's overused. And that's one thing that I wanted to bring out in this blog post, is I want to be able to give you some options, some alternatives. There are some fantastic herbs and supplements that are designed to help these kids. There's 2 different categories. One of them is Kid-e-Mem, and this one deals a lot with brain support. It feeds and nourishes and stimulates the brain. It sends blood flow to the area and nutrients. So, for example, the adult version of this is what I used to take, when I was in the middle of finals in chiropractic school. It just helps feed the brain. So for those who may have memory issues, or just in general are looking to enhance and stimulate, brain flow and blood flow, then that Kid-e-Mem is a memory support formula. The other one is Kid-e-Trac, and this one has a lot more to do with emotional clarity, with mental and emotional clarity. So these are, kids who might be depressed, or these are kids who are hyperactive. For example, there's one, I can think of one family that absolutely swears by this, because, their child is brilliant, but he's very active into sports and just always bouncing off the walls, sometimes, to the point where, it's hard to sleep, and, parents are, just struggling, trying to figure out what to do to help their child. And as soon as they started taking this Kid-e-Trac, it just calmed him down. because there are herbs in this formula. Some are designed to be a mild cleanse. Sometimes the body needs to detox a little bit. Some of the herbs in here are designed to nourish and really provide healthy building blocks within the nervous system. Another combination of these herbs are, once again, for the blood flow to the brain. And a critical one that's added in here, are ones that calm the nervous system. Absolutely critical. And so there's Kid-e-Trac. These are from Dr. Christopher. Absolutely love using them. If you have additional questions, come on in, ask about them. They're just, they're not going to replace any, child's medications. That's certainly between you and your doctor. I don't want anybody their takeaway from this to be to change those medications. You need to be careful with that. But just know that there are options and herbs that support the brain, that when given in a loving environment and a nervous system that works properly, there are absolutely changes and miracles that you can see in your child. So if you're doing everything you can and you just don't know where to turn next, come on in here, talk to me about it. I specialize in kids. I love working with kids. Come on in here. We'll look at a couple different options, and I can't wait to see you soon.